Blimey, talk about home sweet home. He'll be moving his colour television in next.
Have you seen what he's got on the other wall? Who is it? Chairman Mao's daughter?
No. It's a Ying Tong Mona Lisa. You get one of them free with every 6 takeaways from the Chinese fish and chip shop.
Blimey, Nora. He'll be putting up lace curtains next.
I suppose I better go and see him. Find out what he wants to see me for.
Happens he wants you to be his child lady.
Brother Hamlet, I didn't hear you knock.
Well, that's not surprising. I didn't.
Then will you kindly go outside again, and this time please knock?
Do what?
You heard. Enter!
Did you want to see me, Sid?
I want you to put this sign on the door.
What's it say?
Please knock.
What's all this about, Sid? What's all this tarting up? You're trying to get Cockers the only firm to appear in Homes and Garden?
Brother Hamlet, a man spends a third of his life at work. Why should that time be unnecessarily austere? Modern thinking is that a man's office should be an extension of the comforts of his home environment. Here, I don't mind telling you, you see a great deal of my wife's influence.
I only come to work to get away from my wife's influence. I'll go and put that sign on the door. You sure you wouldn't like me to put another one up while I'm at it?
What's that?
Tradesman's entrance, round the back.
Yeah. What do you think of my new presentation?
Well, I'll give it 5 for content. It certainly has star quality. Only one thing puzzles me. What is it?
What is it? But it's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. What it is. Yes.
Oh, well, that's cleared that up.
That is an original. As a matter of fact, that was created especially for me by a young girlfriend of mine.
I wonder when she takes her 11 plus.
I heard that. But to fully appreciate this, you have to stand well back. Go on. Where are you going?
We thought we'd really appreciate it better from outside. With the door shut.
Philistines? Ha! I might have known. Only a person of sensitivity, intelligence, and perception can look at this and know instantly what it is.
Peck, What in hell is that?
An abstract collage, sir. As a matter of fact, I regard it as a work of art.
Well, I regard it as the work of a raving nutcase. Anyway, Peck, I've just been talking to the chairman, and you will be glad to hear that the main board have approved your plans for the factory extension.
Oh, really? Well, I didn't expect that to happen, sir.
No, nor did I. You'd better go and see the builders, because work is to start next week.
Next week? Well, isn't that splendid, sir?
Yes, absolutely splendid. As we look forward to the next 6 months of being up to our eyeballs in mud, dust, and wet cement. Well done, Peck.
Well, I'm afraid you're going to have to make way for a real work of art. So, sorry, old girl. Yes, Mrs. Stubbins?
I've got hydrocanariasis.
No, I'm sorry. What's your pain?
No, I mean among my plants in my office. Oh, I see you've got an Anus bracteatus styriatis. That's one of the pineapple family, you know.
Mr. Stubbins, we are supposed to be 2 key employees of a go-ahead engineering firm, not Bill and Ben the flower pot men. Now, what is it you wanted?
Well, I wanted to have a word with you about the new desk for my office.
Well, I haven't got time to start talking about desks now. Up there, Mr. Stubbins, are my plans for extending the factory. And I've got to get off now to the building contractors, because work on that starts next week.
Extension? What extension? What's this? And work will start next week, will it? Oh, no, it won't, you know. Because I'm going to kick that idea right in the pineapples.
Morning, brother. I think you should know that your brother workers here are in dispute with the management. And if you tip that load of cement into the foundations for the extension, I'm afraid we shall have to black you.
That's so, man. I'd say you're a little bit late for that. Somebody else got there before you.
Well, whether you like it or not, brother, you're one of us now, mate.
Oh, is that so? Because when I left Trinidad, my mama said to me, she said, Sonny, if you work hard enough at your job, one day you will be invited into the upper strata of the white man's society.
There's no class distinction here, brother. We believe in equality.
Oh, I know that, brother. I knew I'd have no difficulty getting a job driving this cement mixer as soon as I got my honors degree in higher mathematics.
Is that any use to you in this job?
Right now, I've just worked out that the odds are against me. Do you want me to get down now?
Just turn it round and then get down.
Mr. Bligh, Mr. Stubbins would like to see you.
Could you wait a moment? I'm in the middle of making a rather difficult calculation. Yes, Mavis. I think I've solved it now. Send to Mr. Stubbins. Yes, Mr. Stubbins. Sit down.
I have to tell you, Mr. Bligh, that my members are in dispute.
Really? And to what do they take exception today?
The fact that my members have not been consulted.
Over what this time? The colour of the factory toilet rolls?
The fact they have not been consulted about the factory extension. Until such time as my members can be given certain assurances in this regard, they are taking steps to ensure that work on the planned factory extension is discontinued forthwith.
I see your Pickets have stopped the cement mixer from unloading. Is he taking it away?
No, he's joined our strike.
But that cement mixer is stationary. Unless it's kept moving, the cement will set rock solid in the mixer.
Oh, will it? So it will.
It'll ruin the whole vehicle, and they cost thousands of pounds.
Come to think of it, so they do.
In that case, I'd better get on to the managing director of the cement factory. Mavis, get me Solly Salter of Simon Salter and Sons Cement.
Right, darling. Well, I'll pick you up in about 10 minutes in my new sports car, and then we can drive out into the country for a bit of,
Lunch?
Yes, we could have some lunch as well.
Oh, I must say, it sounds as if it's going to be a blissful afternoon. Incidentally, what did your office chums think of my collage? Are they frightfully impressed?
Well, they said they'd never seen anything like it in their lives. As a matter of fact, they were rather surprised you hadn't already been hung. Or is it hanged?
Just a moment. Just a moment. You mean that once we allowed it onto our premises, that vehicle became the responsibility of Cockers? And if it's damaged, we would have to foot the bill. But surely... Hey, wait a minute. It seems, Mr. Stubbins, that if your Pickets had stopped that cement mixer coming onto the premises, as they normally would have done, I wouldn't be responsible for it.
Is that so, Mr. Bligh? Well, all I can say to that is hard luck.
So just look out for me coming up the drive of your home. Believe me, darling, this new job is an absolute dream on wheels. What? Oh.
Hey, stop! Get up, come on, quick, hurry up. You're not driving that. No? You're driving something a little teensy-weensy bit different. Now, come on.
What's that?
You are driving this. Get in it. Quick, we haven't got much time.
But why, sir?
I'll tell you when you got in there. Now, come on. If the cement in there is allowed to sit, it's going to cost the company a packet. Now, all I know is that to stop it from sitting, you've got to keep this thing moving. Off you go.
But how long do I have to keep it moving for, sir?
Until I settle this dispute with Stubbins. Now, get going.
Oh, dear.
What is this thing? I'd hardly call it a dream on wheels.
No, it's more of a damn nightmare.
But why are you driving it?
Well, I've got to go round and round to keep that thing on the back going round and round. And frankly, darling, it's driving me round the twist.
But
Now, come on, Georgina, get in, please.
All right. But I don't know what Daddy would have said if he'd seen you arriving in this.
I don't know if your father was here, I'd use the tradesman's entrance.
We haven't got a tradesman's entrance.
Never mind, darling, with this thing, I can make one.
I found them, Sid. I searched everywhere for these.
Oh. Where did you find them?
I found them in that disused loo in the yard.
So?
There might be a few pages missing. What do you want them for, anyway?
The evidence to back our dispute, brother. Now, somewhere in these minutes of our meetings with the management over the years, there's one recording an undertaking that at some future date, the site where they want to build the extension would be for a sports and social club.
You're going about this a bit thorough, ain't you, Sid? Those books are so old, there's a minute in there where the unions are demanding a day off for the workers.
So?
It was Christmas Day.
Oh, that'll be Mr. Peck now.
Ah, thank heavens for that.
Come on, Andrea.
Right, well, now we get out the old sports job and we get a bit of lunch, I think.
Darling.
Hey, what's it say on that door about knocking? Oh, she was to blind.
Rather chic in here, Mr. Stubbins. In fact, I'm surprised we haven't dressed for dinner.
Now, Mr. Bligh, I'm just as entitled to my environmental comforts as a member of the management.
Quite so, Mr. Stubbins. And at the moment, a member of my management is enjoying the environmental comfort of driving a monstrous cement mixer around this town like some demented Flying Dutchman. Have you yet found that elusive minute?
Yes, I have, Mr. Bligh. And it states quite clearly that that area was earmarked for recreational development.
But this was years ago. I can't be held responsible for this. I wasn't even managing director. And whatever member of management agreed to this at the time must have been a steaming nit.
Well, as a matter of fact, he was the present chairman of the group. If you like, I'll convey your sentiments to him. Steaming what, was it?
For him? Now that you've pointed this out to me, Mr. Stubbins, I'm ready to discuss a positive solution.
I thought you might get down to some concrete proposals. Otherwise, Mr. Peck might be set for life.
Look here, what are we going to do about lunch?
Well, you know I can't leave this thing, darling. Tell you what, I'll stop at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, and you pop in for a basket.
A what?
A picnic basket, you know, smoked salmon, game pie, fresh fruit.
And of course a bottle of bubbly.
No, that's a serious offence.
What is?
Being drunk in charge of a concrete mixer. And same to you, mate.
Perhaps you should give them a tip.
And if you agree to let work restart on this extension, I would personally talk to the main board and suggest that we acquire a suitable site to erect a sports and social centre with every conceivable amenity. Billiards, table tennis, gymnasium, squash courts,
Showers?
hot and cold showers. Now, what's your answer to that, Mr. Stubbins?
Mr. Bligh, that is a most generous, forward-looking and magnanimous offer.
Good.
And the answer is no.
Is that all you could get, Georgina?
I know, I was offered a lot more than this.
By what?
Like a free lift to Liverpool in a lorry.
What?
Yes, a lorry driver chap in there. He said he wanted to show me all the lay-bys on the way up.
The dirty bounder.
Yes, he is rather. Then he has been humping coal.
Humping coal? I wouldn't mind. Tell him what to do with his Derby brights.
Oh, tell him.
It's a damn good thing for him that I've got to keep my foot on this accelerator. Any messages?
Just one. Georgina's getting bored.
Well, so am I. Now I'm going to find out what Bligh's up to.
Well, how can you do that?
Well, if you slide over here and keep the engine ticking over, and watch out for Pickets. Don't let them interfere with you.
I've never been interfered with by a picket in my life.
Yes, you can tell Sir Charles I'm doing my best to avoid having to meet the cost of any damage to this very expensive vehicle. And as long as Bernard Peck can keep driving it around, well, we'll be safe. Ah, hello, Bernard. Come in. Sit down. Yes, the Peck's driving it around now. Peck, what the hell are you doing here? Get out! Get back behind that wheel! You want to end up in a concrete overcoat.
Mr. Bligh, I'm shattered by driving that damn juggernaut. I thought you'd at least be having a dialogue with Mr. Stubbins by now.
Stubbins has locked himself in the sanctuary of that stupid hut he calls an office, and he refuses to negotiate, even to come out.
Oh, well, that's one problem that'll be solved when the new extension's built, sir.
Will it?
Yes. Didn't you notice in the final stage of my extension plan, Stubbins' office will be torn down?
Torn down?
Yes, to make way for a new fire exit.
So Stubbins will have no office?
No. Well, I've allotted him a filing cabinet and a corner of the shop floor.
We'll have no extension at all unless you get back in that blasted cement mixer. And whatever you will do, keep going. Don't let me down.
Sir.
So Stubbins will be without an office, will he? I never did look at Peck's boring plans properly. Get Stubbins up here, will you, Mavis?
But what shall I tell him, Mr. Bligh?
Tell him I've got a catalogue from which I'd like him to choose his new office desk.
Get out of my way!
I'm afraid you're going to have to reverse, old boy, to make room for me to pass.
Who do you think you're calling old boy? Anyway, you've no right to be driving a filthy load like this down a country lane.
Oh, I've met your type before, yes. Just because you're driving a new fancy car, you think you own the roads. Now, I suggest that you get out of my way.
And I suggest you get out of my way.
Well, I do have a slight advantage over you.
Oh,
Really? Yes, a 30-ton truck and about 10 tons of wet concrete. Now, are you going to reverse, or am I going to have to give you a gentle nudge into the next county?
You filthy grease monkey! You hell driver! Long-haired skinhead!
Well, I certainly taught some manners with that pompous nitwit, didn't I, darling? Huh? Well, what are you doing down there?
You see, darling, I happen to know that pompous nitwit.
Oh?
Yes, that was Daddy.
Well, it certainly wasn't my intention to be introduced to your father under those circumstances.
No, they were hardly formal. I must say you're right about us going for a spin. We never stop going round and round.
Well, just as soon as I'm allowed to stop going round and round, I'll come back in my new sports car and explain everything to your apoplectic father.
It's you! The cement mixing maniac! Georgina, what are you doing with him? This man has just missed making me a road traffic statistic. And a very squashed one at that.
Well, Dad, it's all been a frightful mix-up, if you see what I mean.
Don't you take his side. You come out of there.
Leave this to me, Georgina. I'll explain. Now, look, sir. Can't we keep a cool head about this?
Come near my daughter again, and you won't keep your bloody head at all.
That's agreed then, said old chap.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Bligh. Well, I think I find that a very agreeable form of words and a very generous allowance of floor space to accommodate my office in the new extension. And under the circumstances, I think the extension can continue forthwith.
Good, good. There is a small problem. We've got to find Mr. Peck and the cement mixer. And let's hope it's still mixing.
Peck, wake up, you idiot! You've let me down.
What's that, sir?
You've let the mixer stop mixing. Now the concrete will have set in there like a boulder and ruin the whole confounded machine.
No, sir, it hasn't. No, you see, Georgina's father wouldn't let me see her anymore.
I'm not interested in that.
No, but I think he will be tomorrow morning when he sets off for the office.
Why?
Well, I've tipped the lot outside his garage door.